All right, ready?
No.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having an amazing and wonderful day. Welcome and thank you for watching the actual second episode of my podcast. The first one was not the second episode. FYI Talks or FYI Talks. I am your host, Frank Yee, and today we have two very special guests who have been some of my closest friends in college. I'm really glad and thankful that you guys are here, and hopefully you guys are excited as I am to talk and have some fun. First on my right here, we have Alyson Wong.
Hello.
And then on the right over there, we have Hoyoung Kim.
Hello.
So if you guys want to just introduce yourselves and maybe talk about how each of us met, then that'd be awesome. You can start, Alyson.
Hello, I'm Alyson, and I'm a nursing major here at UT. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I met our good friend Frank.
Why'd you say it like that? That's so weird.
We can't do this anymore.
No, just go.
You have to cut that.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Go.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Hello, I'm Alyson, and I'm a nursing student here at UT. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I met Frank, I think our first week of college at Gregory Gym playing basketball.
Yep, she's a hooper.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
And definitely met Hoyoung through Frank, if not AKPC, which is the church ministry that we were all a part of.
Mm-hmm. What?
What's up, guys? My name is Hoyoung. And I just graduated from UT, and I'm here just working in Austin. I met Frank basically through AKPC, but just kind of hanging around, or through hoop, through basketball, and Greg.
Hoy told me that the first time he saw me was when I was playing basketball with the church, I think, or maybe it was just by myself, and he said he didn't like me.
Yeah, with his long ass hair. Yeah, I was stubborn and everything.
Yeah, and
which is hard to do because Frank and long hair is like
it was
chick magnet vibes.
Okay,
the menace, Frank.
Yeah, I just remember Hoy telling me
to
like
society.
When he finally started talking to me like as a friend, he was like, "Dang, I don't know why. I just thought you were kind of a dick when I first saw you." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, and then he was like, "I didn't know you were actually kind of cool." And I was like, "All right, bro. I don't know if to say thank you to that or what. Like, what's going on?"
You should say that. Well, yeah. Either way, I met basically Frank through that, and then through Frank, I met a guy named Jason, which is a close friend of ours.
Our boy.
He's gonna be on this podcast, I believe.
Yeah, maybe a couple episodes we'll have him.
And I met basically Alyson through that too. But I did know her when she was playing basketball. I was like, damn, this girl could hoop.
Yeah, she was like one of the only girl hoopers at Greg, and everyone wanted to talk to her because she was raw.
Everyone wants to pick her up.
Second team, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
No. That's the only thing I have to say to that.
All right. With that, we can kind of go into our first question. It's kind of related. And it is playing sports a personality trait? And by that, I mean, do people who play sports have a certain personality? And do they really, like, that's all they're about? They're like, they tell everyone, they're like, oh, I play sports. And that's their only personality thing that they know. What do you guys think about that? I can start if y'all like, while y'all think.
Sure.
So in my opinion, the person who plays sports, you can just kind of tell off the bat, is just like a person who kind of walks a certain way, kind of has certain clothes. They just kind of have this like sense of confidence, competitiveness. And then like what I would say is I think all of us kind of had this, at least from outer appearance wise. Maybe not, it's not how we are, but I think there's always like this air of like stubborn / arrogance where like you just think you're better than other people at sports, at least, or competitive activities. But that's just like how it comes off as. It's not like how we are. It just like seems like that, in my opinion, for people who play sports.
I mean, for me, I'm not too sure about if they're like all arrogant, like stubborn or whatever like that. I think, but what I'm thinking is that since a lot of sports players, like, they've been playing for a while since they were kids and stuff like that. And they obviously spent a lot of time playing sports. Obviously spent a lot of times with a bunch of teammates playing sports. So it's, I guess you could have that vibe off, you know? Like basically their half could be just sports, you know, personality, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think that it's easy to tell. Maybe not easy, but usually obvious to tell if somebody has played a team sport growing up. And by team sport, I would like say basketball, soccer, maybe like dance too.
Yeah.
Just sometimes by the way they walk. Like hoopers have a really
For sure. Distinct.
distinct, yeah, good word, distinct walk. But even within basketball, it's like there's the differentiation between a basketball player and a hooper, I feel like, right?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Like, you don't have to grow up playing basketball to be a hooper, I think. Like, there's a lot of hoopers at Greg who never played high school.
Yeah. I never played high school.
Yeah.
I was a hooper, huh?
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, for girls, it's pretty easy to tell if they played sports growing up compared to guys, I feel like.
And also explain that.
I say, like, even the way I'm sitting, like, I have no problem man spreading.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
One, because my hips are super tight because I played sports.
Yeah.
And two, it's just like...
How you sit
Yeah.
with basketball shorts on, yeah.
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 I think a lot of times, like, girls who played sports or female athletes, which I do not consider myself a female athlete at all, but...
She's an athlete.
Yeah.
Like,
Point
they
guard.
have...
The
Delete.
The point guard.
The point guard.
Delete. They have no problem, like, being a little more boyish.
Agreed. Yeah. That follows up with my next question. Is it a green flag to be better at sports or music or like arts in general? We can get it from Hoy's perspective first as a guy. What do you find one particularly attractive in girls? And then we can get Alyson's opinion.
I mean, I usually say this to all of my friends, but I really don't care.
Okay.
I don't really look at those things, but I think I do just, I mean, it's just a fact that I grew up just playing instruments and doing sports.
Dang.
I-
Just drop that in there, huh?
It's not like that. It's not like that. Which I
Dual
suck
threat.
at. Which I suck at everything. But I do feel attraction with, you know, those like categories where somebody's like pretty good at their instruments or somebody's good at their sports wise. Then I think I'll definitely feel attraction for both of them. But if I go to my friends, like my girlfriends, they like one of the person is like, oh, like I don't really care about guys being good at sports or not, but they're like their instruments, they're like, oh, I feel so it's like a really strong attraction for them. But the other person was like, oh no, I don't care, like I don't feel anything if they're good or not, if they're good at singing or if they're good at, I don't know, like cello, violin, or guitar. They don't care. They just want to see someone's good at sports.
Yeah. Definitely personal preference.
Yeah, personal preference. So in terms of that, yeah.
Delete that.
Jesus. Every second. delete. Oh, trying to make me edit for like 3 hours.
I would say, personally, I'm more drawn to guys who are athletic than guys who are musically inclined. Like I'm equally as impressed by both, but I'd probably like be more into a sporty dude.
What about a guy who is really good at sports but like tone deaf versus a guy who's really good at music and okay at sports, like the average. Like
Can't even
show.
sing a birthday song, like
no, he can. He loves to, but like
he
he's
can't.
just trash.
Like not even a lullaby or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's just bad.
Like he does it a lot. Does he know that he's bad?
He knows he's bad, but he enjoys doing it.
Like,
Okay.
he loves it.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's do what you love.
But then it's
I
like,
think.
It's
bad.
It's awful. Oh man, what was the other option?
Super musically gifted
Uh-huh.
and okay at sports, like average.
Average at sports.
Like he's not good. He's not gonna beat anyone in the gym, but like he'll play his role. Like he's decent. He's not like uncoordinated.
The musical guy, the guy
Okay.
who's good at singing.
Okay.
If he's like,
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it's like guys who are equally amazing at sports and music, but one of them is ass at singing, and the other one is like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go for this guy.
Okay. I was just saying if sports mattered as much
yeah.
as music, you know, and whether it mattered more or not.
Yeah.
What about mid?
No,
Mid.
we don't want mid.
Damn, mid are underrated.
We don't do
Yeah.
mid.
I mean,
here.
I'm mid.
Speaking from the heart, right, Hoy?
I'm mid.
Yes, sir. Asking for a
Underrated.
friend, yes, sir.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Need more love for mid people.
Yes, for real.
Actually.
Love all people, even the mid ones, even the trash ones. What
Mid-
about the trash ones?
Mid people matter too. It's like small booties
Mid
matter.
matter too.
Yeah.
Mid
Exactly.
people
Mid
matter.
matter
For sure,
too.
for
Yeah.
sure. All right, so follow-up question. What are some weird or little things that guys or girls do that are like oddly attractive? So the first example that I'll give, like when your significant other comes to watch your sports games, like basketball games, football games. For me, that's like attractive. Like them sitting there watching intently, you know, like cheering me on and stuff like that. That's really cool to me. I'm like, dang, they taking the time to do that for me. And I would totally do that for them. Like, I wish my significant other would be an athlete so that I can go to their games. I'm like, dang, that's live. Like seeing them do what they love and stuff like that. So do you guys have anything? I have some more examples if y'all like.
Dude, for sure.
That one?
Like if a significant other like comes to my game,
Heck yeah.
and then I mean other than like sucking ass, like playing so bad, like,
Yeah.
but like
You heard it here first. Hoy sucks ass.
I suck.
Other than sucking ass, that's like his favorite
I'm bad.
activity.
I'm mid. I'm mid. But I think it just feels a lot more like better. Like it just you make one shot, right?
Yeah.
And that significant is like, yeah,
Yeah.
like,
And in your head, you trying to play it cool.
it feels like I score like a 50-point game.
Yeah.
Like it's just that one basket.
It's true.
And then there's
It's true.
cheer.
Yes.
It's like just a different feeling. Like
Heck yeah.
it's a different rush
What,
for sure.
What if you play bad? Do you still want her to be there? Like you score 0.
I mean, I know my significant other gonna have my back. Like, oh, you're
Okay.
fine, like
Yeah.
whatever. But just the fact that it come. But I think I will end up playing good either way. But I was like, I can't play bad in front
That's
of
true.
these people, like in front of my girl, like whatever it is. So I'm just like, I gotta try. Like
Yeah.
I had to play good. So
For sure. Is there any other things that you guys have?
This one's not really related to sports.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Like I was just asking for any like underrated thing, like that girls look at in guys and they're like, dang, that's cute, but like guys don't have no idea maybe. Like,
Oh.
that would be interesting in our perspective.
Okay.
yeah,
Our
exactly.
perspective.
Exactly.
Something that.
I'll give another example. So
Okay.
like this is like what comes up on like Instagram and TikTok a lot is like whenever the guy does the thing whenever they're backing out in their car and they'll put their arm and look over their shoulder. I heard that was a thing.
All right.
Is it true? Is it true?
Yeah, that's super hot. I think it's because, and this isn't even true of what the action means, but when you have a guy put their arm like kind of near you, it kind of seems like they're like guarding you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
So, like-
Now, what
this is like
You're thinking the same thing as
What?
me.
What
right now.
about the break?
Yes,
And
yes,
they
that's
go,
exactly
oh,
what I
shit,
thought.
like, you know, like,
What?
damn, like,
that is also good.
All right.
That's,
all right,
we
guys.
like that.
You heard it here first. If you're bad at driving, take your girl in the car and hit them brakes. Hit them brakes and stick your arm
brake
out.
check them. Brake
Yes.
check.
Make sure their forehead touches the windshield.
What the heck? Do not do that. We don't condone that. What the heck?
Okay, that was a good example.
Yeah.
I really like it when guys put like their hand right at
Oh,
the
on the-
nape of my neck.
Yes.
I don't know if that's common or not, but
Okay.
like
I've heard of that. I've heard that guys like that too. Personally, I like that too.
Yeah.
And I think I saw it in like some like psychological video or psychology video where it's like we like that feeling because it makes us feel safe, because when we were children our mothers would do that to us, and so like when we
No
come home and stuff,
way.
so they'd always rub our neck, you know, they'd be like, it's okay, and like stuff like that
Hey,
to
neck,
comfort you.
like
Yeah, like right there, and they just like kind of rub
Hey,
it for you.
like
rub, like, how do you rub?
no, like so it's like if you're just walking next to them, like just put your hand like that.
Yeah.
Like you're holding a handle.
Kinda.
Okay, kinda, yeah, I guess.
Kinda.
For-
It's
for
just-
guys-
and that's
it's
like,
very secure.
and that's
Yeah.
oh, and it's
For guys, I know the example is like if you're driving and the girl's like playing with your hair in the back right here, that's like really nice for guys. I feel like.
Oh. Yeah, I'm asking this question because like I don't know anything.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Hoyoung has never dated yet, and so
Yes,
he's
sir.
kind of like new to all this. And
Yes, sir.
he has a lot of questions, but you know, he has some experiences too.
A neck?
It's true. It's true.
And more than like the security thing, for me, it reminds me of like when my coaches or teammates would be like, all right, like, let's go.
Oh,
like, you
okay.
got this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So back from a childhood kind of thing.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Oh, I'm just listening. I'm trying to
I-
get as much
Well,
information
it's
as
just like-
possible.
Dude,
like
dude,
in my
write
data,
this
right now. I'm writing
down.
notes
Like,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah,
It's just like the thing, like whenever you look at a girl, like what do you see that's like kind of nobody notices, like besides like their face obviously and their personality, like
Yeah.
what are some little things that you notice that you're like, dang, that's kind of attractive to me?
Little things.
Here, look, this is one also.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason, my boy Jason Kwan, the guy
Fuck
we were
Jason.
talking about earlier. All right.
We don't like him.
Is he used to tell me this. He said this was really underrated, and I never saw it. When he first told me, I was like, dude, why do you like that? That's kind of weird. And then I never saw it, but now I see it. But he told me like whenever he can see a girl's like collarbone / their face, their whole face, like their jaw structure. And I was like, what the heck? That's so weird. But he's like, when girls put up their hairs in a ponytail.
Ponytail. That's
You
like
see?
I don't know about like the collarbone and everything.
Okay.
Like fuck Jason, but like ponytail. And you see like the neckline. I get. Yeah, I think.
So
The
I never saw that.
neckline.
like
Did you know that?
I've never, I've
it's like
never
if you
noticed
kind of
that.
show like the neck, whatever. And
see?
then,
Yeah,
I've
that's a
never
thing.
noticed that in a
ponytail.
girl. Like, I wouldn't, that's not something I would notice, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when the girl is like
Putting their
ponytail,
hair
I'm like, all right.
You notice it, right?
All right then. Like,
Yeah, I've low key now started noticing it recently because Jason said that. He told me it was like a more like a Asian Korean culture thing where it's like girls
yeah,
will
for
put up their
sure.
hair,
Yeah.
and like they show like how like
Yeah.
thin and like pale, like you know that kind of look.
I
they
think
are.
a
That's
lot
very
of
much a like Asian beauty
Yeah,
standard.
that kind
a
of
lot of
Yeah,
Koreans like that.
daintiness.
I know a lot of Korean guys like girls putting their hair up.
exactly.
I think if you're like kind of chiseled or like pointed chin.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This is not something you can control, but nice hands,
Mm.
like great. And like jewelry and something on your
Yes,
wrist on a
for
nice
sure.
hand is like
Oh shoot.
100%.
very cool. But things that guys do, I think it's really this doesn't just apply to guys. I think it's really cool for people to like have these really niche interests and go like fully into them.
Gotcha.
I don't do that at all. Like that's
Yeah.
something that I hope to like unlock about myself.
Mhm.
But I think it's really cool when people just like have an interest that they do just for the passion. Like
Yeah.
they don't monetize it. They don't,
100%.
and they just go all in.
Yes.
That's like kind of how you know that somebody's really like into something.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think for girls as well, you don't have to be really good at sports, good at anything really, but like if I ask you your hobbies, like I want to hear that one thing you're passionate about. Like if you just start talking about it the whole night, then I'll be like, damn, like she's kind of weird if this thing is weird, but like that's cool. Like that's really attractive. Because like when you're passionate about something, you're smiling, like you're into it. That's like when you're the most attractive just in general. And so like if somebody doesn't see you as attractive when you're talking about the thing you love, then like, I don't know.
Maybe you're weird.
Yeah.
Okay, then that makes me think that my passion is food because I don't know if I'm ever. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Though?
I remember you used to eat crazy amounts, and like I thought that was really cool. I was like, I've never seen a girl eat so
Man,
much.
that's weird.
Okay, let's go get some food, Hoy.
All right, what about you, Hoy? What's your passion?
My passion?
Yeah.
Man, this is not the right person to ask me that question.
Dude, I think it's like worship. It's like leading worship. It's Hoyoung is very involved, I feel like, in church, and
That
I
is
think
true.
that's super admirable.
Church Opa.
I appreciate that.
Opar.
Opar.
I appreciate that.
All right. So I guess a couple other examples that I had, just to put some out there. Some weird ones that I thought was like, I like it when a girl is bad at driving. Is that weird? I think that's
Hell
kinda-
no.
Yeah.
Hell, I ain't trying to die.
No, that's why it's funny though. 'cause,
It's
like,
It's
funny?
the curbs.
When
No.
you're trying to die?
Okay,
Like,
can I
Pop
tell
a
a
curb.
story?
Pop a
No,
curb.
no.
Go ahead.
No, because Frank was dating this one girl.
Okay.
and she bad at driving?
No.
I messed up.
Frank
One
was
time.
Oh no, it was a few times.
Okay.
Frank always drove her car.
Because she asked me
And
to. She wanted
because,
me.
okay, yeah, no, that's not
Okay,
that's not an
okay.
issue here. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, all right, here I am with mom and dad. Like, I'm just chilling, and Frank hits this curb like heavily, and it's like silent. They would never like get into arguments or get mad at each other. I'm in the back seat, like literally shaking because this girl is looking over, like, dude, like I literally just told you to not do that.
Yeah.
Because 2 minutes prior, Frank had done the exact same thing.
All right, that was my bad. Look, I'm a great driver. I swear, it's just happened a couple times. Austin is like hard to drive in
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's so thin. Everything is so thin, especially compared to Houston, where I'm from. And that was like my freshman year, so I was still learning the ropes of Austin.
And people are not good at
Yeah.
driving in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but I feel like Houston's a scary place to drive.
Houston, I think Houston
It's
drivers
reckless.
are worse.
They're
Yeah.
reckless.
But it's just a lot more space, so it's like
Got
it's a
it.
little safer in my opinion.
Austin, they're just dumb. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a true story, and I apologize because I trolled. I definitely trolled, and that car was her baby, which is why she was very like mad about it. But it was just more like, yeah, she was very cool about it. In the end, it was
Yeah.
just in the moment.
It was just a funny moment.
Yeah.
And I there might have been another person in the car too. And after the first one, we kind of looked at each other like, ooh.
I think it was Kate
it's all
or
right.
something.
No, but after the second one, we were like, bro,
Yeah,
like, get me out of
I
here.
could feel the tension, and I saw the stairs, and I was like, oh man, I messed up.
Yeah.
I guess a couple other things is bad dancers. I think it's cuter when a girl's a bad dancer than a good dancer. Nobody likes a good dancer. It's
What?
like-
No.
I love a good dancer,
Dude,
but I wouldn't
what?
care though. I don't care if they're a
I-
bad dancer though. But it's like, I think if they're good at dancing, that's a good.
It's a plus.
It's a plus.
Okay, I'd say it's a plus, but what if they're bad at dancing? It's not a minus though, right? It's a
Yeah,
plus.
yeah,
too.
I said. I think I could also feel attraction toward that. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm
I think
saying,
it might look cute.
It's
Yeah.
because I'm not very good at dancing, so like if I'm gonna suck, and we suck together, that's cooler than if she's good.
But what if she like teaches you and?
If she teaches me,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'm down for that. I'm always down to try it. Yeah.
Okay, have you guys seen a video of Dua Lipa dancing though?
No, I haven't.
The little what is this pencil sharpener thing?
Yeah.
Like just,
What?
like, when the
She
body
does.
goes like,
There's a lot. There's like a compilation
kinda
of
weird.
Dua Lipa dancing, and honestly, just get back to me after you watch that
Okay.
video.
Okay. It's good.
I think it's a
It's really
pencil
good.
sharpener dance, whatever.
No,
Oh, it's bad.
No.
Oh, man.
And I'm not even trying to hate. Like, I think she's beautiful,
Yeah.
stunning, super sexy, extremely attractive. But the dancing is just like,
It's bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll let you know. It
so-
might be cuter to me, honestly.
yeah. Piggybacking onto that, like I do think bad dancing is a turn off, but it doesn't like, it won't make me
Yeah.
like somebody any
Yeah.
less.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Hey, for all the bad dancers out there,
Maybe they just don't want to see you dance. That's all they need.
just don't dance if you're
a
bad.
little bop. Just give it that little bop.
All right. The last one I was gonna say is also taking forever to get ready. I think this is a common one that guys feel with girls, and like, in my opinion, it's actually kind of cute. It's like,
Cute.
Yeah.
How do you feel cuteness?
no, I'm just like, oh my
Frank
God.
is just extremely positive.
Okay.
Every
he
little
makes
detail.
the best out of every situation.
Yeah, it's just like if like we're going to an event or something, and I'm like, I told you an hour earlier, like we need to go by this time, and they're like, yeah, let me just start getting ready 10 minutes earlier than that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's like.
Like that's so cute. Like this.
Yeah,
That's how it is.
That's literally what I'm like.
Oh,
I just can't help it, man. I'm just like seeing them get ready, and I'm like, you know what?
Like
Forget that
seeing
we're
them in a
like-
hurry, like going back and forth.
Nah,
around.
they'd be taking their sweet ass time.
No hurry. There's absolutely no
But
urgency.
that's why it's cute. It's like, damn. Okay.
My-
All good.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get Frank.
But my dad literally tells my mom and I, like, that a set time is 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
So that we will show up on
That's
time.
actually smart. Because, like,
He's done it for too long.
dude,
He
and
knows
are
the
y'all ready
ropes.
by that time?
We've also, like, we learned that too. So it cancels out.
Stopped getting ready. You just waited. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Guys, please get ready before time. It's just courtesy.
Yeah.
Unless you're with me, then you can be late.
Only like it like depends. Like if it's with me, like on a date, if you're late, sure. I don't care.
I mean, okay, we're also all
But
running
then if
on
it's like
Asian
church,
time.
you better be on time. 30 minutes before.
Okay.
On time is late, all right?
Yeah.
And then
30
early
minutes
is on time, all right? And if you're late, don't even show up, all right?
Not show up. Show up.
Just
Show up,
kidding.
show up.
Show up for Hoy. Show up for Hoy. All right, we can go to our next question now. We all grew up in, I think, areas where we're kind of minorities, I think. And Hoy, if you don't know, he grew up in basically Mexico. It's in Texas. It's called Mission. But there's a lot of Hispanic people and Mexican people there. Yeah, the question is, did you like growing up as a minority? And what were the positives and negatives about it?
As a minority.
For both of y'all. Because I think Alyson also grew up a minority.
Can you go first? Or if you
Yeah,
can
I'll go
think of
first. I grew up in a predominantly white and kind of Asian area, so I can't say I was like drastically the minority. Looking back, I'm loved growing up a minority, but if you were to ask me like at 8, do you like being Asian?
Yeah.
No, like I think a lot of immigrant kids grow up kind of rejecting their culture. At least that might just be projection, but that's how I was. And then it wasn't until like maybe middle school, high school where I really learned to value it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, obviously, there's a lot of Hispanics where I'm from. So, I mean, they're a minority too. So,
Yeah.
but in that school, they're
the majority. Yeah.
They're the majority, and I'm the minority there, like the Asians there. So I didn't really feel anything because they also like in a whole U.S. standpoint, they're a minority, so they didn't really have anything like that. We always had like the same value in terms of like working and stuff like that. So like if they're like racist to us, like I'm racist to them,
Yeah.
and we both
And it's
laugh.
cool, yeah.
We both laugh. It's like that's how we grow up.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar to both of y'all. Like, I think you're very right, and like we kind of learn to respect other people's cultures and traditions.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. Even white people. Like I had probably like 2 or 3 white people at my school in middle school, but like it's not like we were racist towards them or anything. Nobody was racist towards them, and they weren't racist towards anybody else. Like we were just cool. Like we all learned to respect each other's views and traditions, and you got to learn a lot of different views and traditions. Like for example, for me, like I had a lot of Hispanic people in my school, and so like whenever we had like school football games or something like that, or like parties in classes, it would always be like Mexican food. It would always be like Mexican candy.
Wait, that sounds amazing.
Yes, it was like always like there's this thing called elotes where it's like it's corn, but like you put it in like a cup, and like there'd be like mayonnaise and like
tahini in there.
in it. Yes, that stuff was goated, and we'd always have like fiestas in like our Spanish classes where we would bring like Spanish food like empanadas and flautas, and like dos leches became my favorite cake
Oh,
of
Dude.
all time. It is my favorite cake of
You're
all time.
making me jealous. I had none of that.
No, you see, yeah.
And I
but
had bomb Chinese food that sadly I was like, Dad, I want to eat hot lunch in
Yeah,
middle
that
school.
sucks,
But
yeah.
no, for a majority of my early childhood, it was always rice in a thermos, beef.
No,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Me
It's
too.
probably stank up the entire classroom.
No, yeah,
but
exactly. That's what I was gonna get to your point, Alyson. I think that you're right. As kids, we do kind of like wish we weren't Asian. It's crazy because I related to that exactly what you said. We're like, dang, like being Asian is not cool. It's like I want to be like everybody else, like that kind of thing. And so we lose out on cultures and traditions. Like I stopped asking my mom to make me Korean food for lunch and stuff like that because like kimchi would
Dang.
smell so bad and stuff like that.
Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. But then
I said
bad.
respect your mama.
Man, I'm proud.
no, but also at the same time, like whenever I would bring it, like
Yeah.
all the kids, they wouldn't be like, "Ew, that's weird." They'd be like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" Like, "Oh, that tastes good," like that kind of thing. And so, like, I think you lose out on a lot of traditions, but also you're like, you kind of feel like proud to be proud to be different. And so, like, that's how I felt.
I
about it.
think I remember you telling me that long time ago. And it's like, oh, you really didn't want to be Asian. It said, oh, Asians suck.
Yeah.
Like we suck. Like
Yeah.
you even like talk down. I was like, damn, but you're Asian, bro. You're Korean, bro. Why you gotta talk shit to? All right, but then I think when we were like when you started to hang out with a lot of Asians and also with different like aspects of culture with diversity, I think you started to like open up, like, oh wow, it's really not
Yeah.
that bad. That's why I kind of saw. I mean, I think you probably also felt that way because you like grew up from the States,
For
right?
sure.
But as like a person, like I lived in Korea like till like my elementary, so I had that gene in there. Like if you talk shit to my country, like I'm going for your ass. Like
Hoya is all about Korean pride. That man is a Korean at heart.
But I mean, I am American. I have my citizenship, but yeah, I do have that. But I think it's just because I just grew up in Korea, and I was like that. I think that's why it's like a different aspect of. So that's why I didn't get you in the beginning. And I was like, what? Like that's kind of crazy. Like you even tell your mom to not even cook Korean food. Like that. So I was like,
okay? That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
Do you like tell a clear difference between Asians, like Asian Americans who grew up here and were born here, versus immigrants who moved like you in like middle school and elementary school?
Do I see like a clear difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do too. Yeah.
Like fobby
Exactly,
or not fob,
That's
or
what they
just
call 'em.
or just I don't know. Like
That's why I think that's why they made like the names like second gen, 1.5 gen. Like heard of that?
That's right, yeah.
So like for those of you who don't know, like second gens would be people like me, where I was born in the U.S. I never lived in Korea. My parents are from Korea. They speak primarily Korean, and so I learned Korean through them. Some second gens don't know Korean, and that's okay too. But that's like generally the second gen population. 1.5 gens would be like Hoyoung,
like
where
born.
they're either born in Korea or they learned only Korean at home, or they like moved to Korea for a little period of time, and basically they're like fluent in Korean.
Basically grew up in Korea, but then ended up to immigrate with my parents.
Yeah.
So,
but they're not first gen because they didn't grow up in Korea.
like all the way through adult life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
All right, y'all good? Y'all go with that? Anything else sad with that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So now we will go to our Christian question segment, or the CQ segment. We have this in every episode, and like I said in the last episode, there's just disclaimer: we're not like theologians or experts in the religion or Bible.
We didn't go to seminary school.
Exactly. We're just people who grew up in our churches, and like we have different views, even amongst ourselves, and that's okay. And with that being said, like, please don't fight in the comments or enforce your ideas, because nobody really has to like follow or listen to what you say, and nobody has to listen or follow what we say. And if you want to skip over this part, that's cool too. All the timestamps are in the description. So yeah. So today's Christian question segment is going to be about Genesis. So in Genesis, we know that God started creation. And on the first day, he created light. On the second day, he created the sky. On the third day, he created dry land, seas, plants, and trees. On the fourth day, he created the sun, moon, and stars. On the fifth day, he created creatures in the sea and trees. On the sixth day, he created land, animals, and humans. And so the first question with this is, where do you guys think the dinosaurs were in the Bible? What do you think happened to dinosaurs? Because they're never mentioned in the Bible.
I think the 7-day creation story is actually not literal.
Okay.
So I don't know how that fits in, but I don't
Explain.
have that question because I don't believe in the literalness of that. I've heard that each day represents like a trillion years or something like that.
This is like one of the most common views, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess somewhere along those lines.
So she thinks that in between like the 5th and 6th day or something like that, or the 6th and 7th day, that dinosaurs were on the earth, but it was like not literally one day, and so they were on the earth and then they died and then humans were created.
Actually, like for me, that's just like a gray area where I just don't know what to say because that just came out of nowhere. Question.
You have no theory on it?
No. I'm guessing like the dinosaur basically came into existence on probably like when he started creating the creatures, like stuff like that. I think that's slowly. That's basically about approximately that time. I think when he's not too sure.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Some theories that I did
Wait.
find.
ASMR break.
Okay. It does sound good though. Sounds
Delete
very
that.
crinkly and crispy. All right. So maybe I'll tell you all the different theories that are
Yeah.
online, and maybe you can
Oh, yeah.
choose one that you like the best.
Sure.
All right. So the views are, the first one is that they died before humans, which is what Alyson thought, that theory. The second theory is they died before the flood, which is kind of in line with Alyson's theory as well. The next theory is that they died during the flood because they weren't taken onto the ark, Noah's Ark. And then the next theory is that because God said take 2 of every animal, that they were taken onto Noah's Ark, but when they came off, the world was no longer sustainable for dinosaurs because the temperatures changed due to the flood and stuff like that, and so they ended up dying out. Another theory is that there was just some sort of catastrophic event later on in the future after Noah's Ark, and so they were killed during that time. Another is like there was a lack of food because of the flood, and then the last one is that they were hunted down by humans, and so
I mean, I think it's just way before that.
you think kind of like what with Alyson's
Like
theory?
before, like all the Noah's Ark, all the
Yeah.
thing. I think it's just before that.
Yeah.
But
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the remainder of the story is that on the 7th day, God rested, which is what we now know as Sunday, which is why it's God's day and we're supposed to not work on that day. We're supposed to just relax, watch some Sunday football, stuff like that. But I guess the last question with this is, because we know God rested and took a break. It's a bad segue, but what do you guys think about taking a break in a relationship?
Bro, what is this
Huh?
question?
Look.
Say it with me. Huh?
Huh?
Okay. I'm sure y'all didn't expect that. But so what I think about taking a break is, honestly, it would come down to the intention of the break. If the intention is just to like, hey, we need space from each other to go and figure out about ourselves, or like go and date other people, then I don't think the break is like necessary. It should be a breakup. But I do think it's okay in like the aspect where it's like a girl will just, or a guy, I guess. I feel like guys are more like oriented on like, I need to fix a problem now. That's what I've met with like most of my guy friends. Whereas girls like, hey, I need to think about it. Give me some space. And guys will just not understand that. Me especially. Like, I'll be like, no. What can I do to fix the problem now? And like, sometimes you just need time to fix it and space to fix it. And so I think it's okay in that situation. If a girl's like, hey, give me a couple of days to just think about it, take my space, maybe a week, and then let's talk about it in a week or whatever. I think that's totally fine. That's healthy for a relationship sometimes. And as long as you guys know that, like, you guys aren't like going out to like date other people and stuff like that, then that's fine. That's totally valid.
I personally have not seen a couple go on a break and stay together for the long run. I've seen a lot of couples go on breaks over and over and over again. But then again, I haven't talked to a lot of married couples. I guess you could also, like, it depends on what you define as a successful relationship. If that's like longevity, or I literally have no idea. Yeah. So yeah, I think if anything, like, having expectations set before break so that it's not like one person is going out and like seeing other people, and one person isn't, then like that makes it less complicated.
I have a question. Are you like communicating before you go to break, or it's just like, oh, I need a break? It just turns of.
Well, my expectation is that there is communication before. It's like, you guys got in a fight or something, and it's like, hey, like, I don't want to talk about this now. Can I get some space, please? Can you give me like a break for like, let's take a break for like 3 days or something like that, and then come back to this.
But I'm kind of wondering, what good can that be done if you're taking a break? Because I'm assuming you're not really like seeing them. You're not really communicating in that during that
That's the
break.
point,
Basically,
yeah.
you're just kind of thinking thinking for yourself or whatever. But if it's terms of that person, that your significant other, then I'm just kind of thinking like, how would you end up making up with all the quarrels, the conflict they've been together without communicating, including, because they could be just thinking in themselves in their head and be like, but nothing could like work out for them just thinking about themselves because you don't have their like side of.
I think the concept behind it is that people get really involved in their emotions and they can't really think straight. And so the point of the break is so that they can come back with level heads, come back with like a thought process where like, hey, this is what I want to be done next time so that I'm not upset, things like that. And like the other person, maybe the person who's in the wrong, can think about their actions, be like, oh, what did I do? It's kind of like they have to think like, what can I do to fix it? And also at the same time, it makes both of them like really realize like, hey, this is the person, I miss this other person, and this is the person I do want to continue a relationship with. Or is it like during this break, I felt like there are a lot of other problems that stemmed from this problem, and I'm realizing that now from our break, and we should maybe end things, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just my opinion. I don't think it might be good to have like a long break. I think it's just like some time works, like maybe just the day after. I think if you end up like it becomes like 3 days, like 4 days, then it's just at that point you just really don't want to even talk to that person. You don't want to like solve things. I think you just want to keep it to something just like, oh, like you just started thinking different things, or you just don't care about that person. I think a lot of feelings could just random feelings, like outside things could like attack you during that longevity of the time of the
That's
break.
fair.
So I say like maybe like some time, maybe like in a couple hours to come back like the next day to kind of like talk about it. I think that's like plenty of time to just like settle down in terms of like able to have a productive conversation after.
I think a lot of people decide to go on breaks as a last resort, maybe. Like if they've been consistently arguing about different things or the same thing, then it's like, okay, maybe we need to actually like center ourselves separately, because like the influence that a couple has on each other can be kind of like stifling and like kind of like an echo chamber, you know what I mean? So where you don't know what you actually think. Like I found myself in that situation a few times. So I felt like for me, a break was necessary and helpful for me to just like clear everything out except for what I really want. But I think it's also like if you go on a break and you realize certain things when you're separate, then if you go on a break and you realize certain things while you're separate, then maybe it's not working out.
Yeah, I agree. I can see both of y'all sides of like you saying not to take too long a break, and
I think just communication is a lot more important than just having a break. I think it's just like
I agree.
like just maybe like settle down to just lower your temper, like maybe just to like relax yourself and then talk about it, and that doesn't require like a whole week of them just not even talking. Like, come on,
I think
now,
that's
what are you
ideal.
doing?
Okay, what if follow-up question? What if your girlfriend said she needed a week break? Would you just say let's break up, or what are you gonna do about it?
No, but I'm like, I'll be like, why do you need a week break for? Like,
You're gonna ask her that when she's mad at you. You're really gonna ask her why you need a week break?
why not? Yeah, because it's like, because I know that nothing is gonna like solve even taking a week break or even like a one day break, or like
you could. That's that's a completely valid question to ask.
Okay.
Because it's like, why specifically a week? What do you think is going to be?
Nah, but like, you're tripping.
Week?
You ain't taking a week break. Like,
maybe not that. Maybe
like,
not
that's
that.
too long. Like, yeah, I need you to communicate with me. Like, what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And then we gotta reconcile, or we gotta do something about it to able to like figure out what the next step is.
Yeah,
then.
for sure. That's healthy. That's unhealthy relationships. Yep. All right. So that was the end of the CQ segment.
Oh, I
Going-
really liked how that
That,
question
that,
was a part of
that, that was
CQ.
all CQ?
Yes,
That was
yes,
all
it
part of the umbrella of CQ?
Yes, the Christian
my-
question segment.
Oh my.
All right, next question. All right, this is gonna be a fun one. What are the best ways to approach someone in public and or online? So, like dating apps versus sliding in the DMs.
I want to hear Alyson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hoy's writing a lot of notes down today.
Oh,
my head.
man. I don't think I've ever been approached in a non-out-of-pocket way, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Um,
Can you give us some examples?
maybe the ones that aren't out of pocket just like don't stand out.
Mm.
But
So you want out of pocket?
no. I don't really have
Low-key, low-key.
positive. No. I don't really have positive recollections of how like I've been approached. But a lot of Asian women go through this thing called fetishization, and so. Wait a second. This does not answer the question at all.
No, it's okay. Explain it.
Okay. That is where, for example, a guy will come up and be like, oh, like, what are you? Are you Korean? Are you Vietnamese? And like, I watch anime. Ni hao, stuff
Yeah.
like that, which is just like, really don't do that. I don't
Oh,
know why
really?
you would do that. But,
Oh, really?
What?
he's like, oh, good to know. I was going to do that.
Yeah. And it happens more often than you guys think. It's not uncommon.
Yeah. But in terms of how I would like to be approached, I don't know. Like, I'm not really strangers approaching me like isn't something that I desire.
What about online? Like dating apps or
okay.
in the DMs?
Yeah, that's like more appropriate, I
Okay.
feel like.
I think dating apps, they did a good job of like, you don't really have to do much because they kind of like set everything for you. You
Yes.
just gotta, it's like
Responding to the prompt.
Yeah, responding or do whatever you want. It's like very easy for you to just do
Yes.
it. And then, but whereas it's like out in the streets, like you're just trying to,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's like there's no anything, you're just
Yeah.
putting yourself out there without any, context or anything like that. So, yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. I think being approached in person, if you can do it in a classy way, a very respectful way, but also like a smooth,
Give us an example. I want to hear
Like,
something. It's hard. Guys
it's
got it
super
tough.
hard
Guys got
Hey,
it
babe.
tough.
It's hard. I'm trying to think of a way that I
Yeah.
would, if I were a guy to approach somebody, or like if I
Hello,
were to just
mom.
approach
Girl.
somebody.
Damn, mom.
No. Bad. I would probably not touch them. A lot of guys think like grabbing, like caressing your waist is
What
like
about, like-
smooth.
like-
I don't think
like-
that's
like-
nice.
like-
Definitely not until you've
Like-
been on dates
Like-
or know the person.
What about like, that, because that person is like walking.
Excuse me?
Yeah, and you gotta like turn around.
Hello.
Yeah, but it would be
You
kind of
know, I
weird.
like your shirt.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird when you would be walking and you just like show up right in front of their face, and it's just like
True.
kind of, it's like, oh, hey, excuse me, like.
But not that timid, Hoy. Not
Yeah,
that timid.
yeah, not that. I'm just as an example. It's just saying like, but what about that? Not even like a single touch like that.
Sure. You could play it off and be like, dude. Oh wait, like, do I know you? Sorry. I thought I knew you." Like,
No way
that
works.
works.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can play it off, and the girl is also playful and not like prickly about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
Also
like
depends.
those interactions. Like, can be fun.
Yeah.
And engaging.
What if-
Basically, you got to be cute, Hoy. If you're not cute, she gonna be like, ew.
I'm screwed.
I will
already.
say,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
being,
me
like-
too, brother.
Damn.
Me
Yeah.
Now fuck us.
No.
Yeah,
This-
for real. Damn.
It is kind of messed up how much like a pretty
privilege.
face.
Yeah.
But
can
yeah,
influence.
that's true.
that.
But what about the guys that are more direct? You're like, oh, excuse me, I just saw you walking around like in the
That's
street, like a couple
nice.
of streets,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
nice.
Really?
think you were cute. Like,
Okay.
can I-
That's because nobody does that anymore.
I've,
Because nobody does that anymore.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard it like it's kind of like too much. Like if a guy's like, "Hey, I just saw you across the room.
Yeah.
I thought you were so cute. Like respectfully, would you just mind if I took you on a date or whatever? Stuff like that. Like that. Is that weird, or is that you think that's okay?
No, I think that's actually refreshing.
Like
Really?
I would prefer that for me.
Yeah.
That is like as my
That's what I would
personality.
prefer, too,
Like I'd
yeah.
rather have just a simple, direct. Just give me the
Exactly.
answer,
Yeah.
whatever, and then. Just
But that's
go.
because we're men. We just have
That is
one
true.
thoughts on our mind. We're just like, if I like this girl, then I'm just gonna tell her I like her. It's easy for us.
Like,
but like,
you're like, oh, like I thought I knew you before. But I'm like, hey, I can't do that. Like I can't do that.
that's true. That's very true.
I think that's also like really subjective. Like I don't think everybody would like that.
Yeah. For sure.
It just depends on if you're smooth. Like that's what it is. It's
The vibes.
the first like impression is like charisma is pretty important. But if you are smart, then you know that like that's not going to be lasting, you know. That doesn't indicate anything about a relationship or how good a guy is.
Exactly. Yeah. It just gets you like through the door.
That's all I need through the door.
Hey,
just need
Hoy
an
single.
in.
If anyone's looking for a great godly man, like, can you give us a time that it was bad? Like, you got a really bad DM or like a really bad message on a dating app.
I think you got a couple.
There's got to be something that
They
you can
gotta be.
remember off
Oh
the top
yeah,
of your
for
head.
sure.
I mean, going along with the fetishization thing, I was literally stopped in my car. I had just dropped off my friend at her apartment, and this dude comes across the street and like knocks on my window. And I thought because I was backing up and he was knocking on it, so I thought he was the owner of the car behind me and that I was like too close to it. So I was like, oh, sorry. I like rolled down my window, and he's like, I don't know what he started with, but it ended up being the like, he actually said, are you Cantonese? And the fact that he said that is really weird to me because nobody who's not like Chinese really or like adjacent to that would guess that of me. So I was like, okay. And he wasn't. And he started talking about anime and like knowing Japanese and studying like Asian, I don't know, being an Asian studies minor or something. And I was just like, I left that conversation just like kind of like shaky, not gonna lie. It was weird. It was really strange.
It's okay sometimes though, right? Like, because I
What's
feel
wrong
like
with that?
there are a lot of guys and girls who like Japanese culture,
Yes.
like anime, and
Yeah,
so they
for
will
sure.
do
Yes.
Asian studies and
Yes.
stuff like
And
that.
obviously they have interest in that aspect, so
Yeah.
they're gonna have interest in
Exactly,
the
and
Asians.
For
maybe
sure.
they like lived in the culture for a little while too. So
Yes.
like, what would distinguish them from like a weirder person?
But it is true that if you do bring those up, though, it could get uncomfortable with some of the girls.
I think right off the bat, if you bring that up,
Okay.
then it's a little bit more like you can tell
That's why.
that's why.
Yeah.
But if you can talk to somebody just like without bringing up their race, and then maybe later bring up, hey, like I actually really like doing this, or just talk about what you're into, like then that's more genuine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Take notes, boys. All right.
You don't like you're not automatically creepy if you're not Asian and you are an Asian studies minor or like you like anime.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Hoy? Any
What about me?
how would you, if a girl liked you, how would you like to be approached, and how would you approach a girl?
How I
Be smooth with it.
for me, I would just approach like directly.
Okay.
Like if there's.
What would you say? Pretend I'm a
mean,
girl. Hey, Hoy.
Hey, what up, babe?
Oh
Nah. I don't know. I think I would just say, I thought you're cute or pretty. I would like to get to know more of you. Like, can I get your Insta or like your phone number?
Okay, go straight
and
for the
then
social.
Never
like,
ask for the Snapchat.
Yeah.
If you're above 20, don't.
Yeah. And why is that, Alyson? Can you explain for the people?
oh yeah, can you explain that?
I don't know. I
Oh.
actually don't know. I just
I think it's just because Snap is for like.
The reputation
for like
it has.
teenagers,
Yeah,
like
the
middle
Do
school.
that.
That's true.
But go on, Hoy.
But yeah, I was just
You just be
directly
straight up?
I said, or like, I could text you, whatever, and then if you're like fine, like.
Okay, first text. What do you say then?
What?
Well, first text. What do you say? Do you come in with a banger, or do you just come in with like a regular old Joe, hello, that kind of thing?
I should go direct, right? Just go at it.
I don't know, man. I think there should be a banger, like
it should be
like
a banger.
pickup line or something.
Now, I don't know about pick up because I already like got
Yeah,
her
that's
phone
true,
number.
that's
Like
true.
it's already plus. Like I'm already in. Like
Yeah.
the door is already open.
I guess.
Yeah, I just have to I just honestly at that point I don't have to go like direct. Just like slowly be like, oh yeah, like
Get to know them.
just get to know them, or just like, oh, if you're just in a direct sense, like, oh, if you're free like this weekend,
Just go on a date,
let's just go grab some drink or food or whatever, and then just hang out.
Okay. First date ideas. What I want to hear some from you guys. What do y'all think are good and bad first date ideas? I can start. I think a bad first date idea, typically, what most people say is dinner. Even though I know you've been
Hey,
I think
really?
you've been on a first date for dinner.
Okay, that's true, but like
Oh,
that's true, but the first date that I went on that was a dinner date was the best first date of my life.
Okay.
So that's like an outlier.
Dang. Okay. But yeah,
I think hiking would be a really good first date.
what about
I've done that before.
kind
a
of
few
different
times.
for a brunch first date?
That's the same thing as at dinner, bro.
but it's the brunch.
The
you know?
way you said it was so funny. You looked directly at Frank and you were like, "I'm about to do something." Brunch.
Something different, you know. Nobody does. Let's
I think
let's
that's
grab
normal.
a brunch.
That's normal. People go on Sunday
What about-
brunches for the first date.
What about a breakfast?
Okay, look, the reason I think any meal is bad, I feel like most people know this by now, but maybe not Hoy, is because you want to sit, because you're sitting usually right in front of the person.
Yeah.
And so like it's very like interview, like you're just like, "Hey, how are you? Like what major are you?" You know,
What-
that kind of thing. It's
what
just
if
like back and forth ping pong and
It's like some activity, whatever,
okay.
that will end up in a dinner, like just grab food.
Give me an example. I think that's fine. I think that's
Like
for
let's
sure.
say, maybe you do like sports activity, whatever, or like you go in a park or hiking, whatever. Let's say, and then after that, it's just
grab
like,
a meal?
You grab a meal.
What do you think about that? Think that's okay?
Yes.
As a first date?
And that's how you know if she's like, oh no, like I have dinner plans, whatever. Then
Oh.
then she doesn't
No.
like you from that. Like, you know, like
What
Is
if she
that-
does have dinner
Yeah.
plans?
Is that common?
that's a good indication like it went well or not.
That's what he thinks.
True?
Because
Is that you'd say that's true? Girls will make an excuse.
Yes,
Okay.
100%. If it did not go well, you will find any out.
like because if it's a date, like I'm canceling my plans, like whatever I have
true.
there, like,
That's
and the
true.
girls like it's like a big
No.
it's a big like it's a first date, it's a pretty big event, like so you just and then you don't know
Actually
what are you gonna
so
do,
true.
so you gotta cancel it. But if she brings up some BS stuff like, oh, like I gotta do some homework, like I gotta or go meet up my friends somewhere, like it's like kind of obvious, isn't
Yeah.
it?
No, that's such a good point because that date that you brought up, that guy was like, "Do you want to go like grab drinks after?" And I think that's a good gauge to see if. And I didn't even realize that was a
Oh,
gauge. I was
dang,
like,
he
"Yeah,
making
for sure."
moves.
Yeah, you're like that for sure. Like
Nice.
You're
Boy,
good,
yeah.
boy. I did not know you were like that.
I just thought, like, I just kind of
Wait,
assuming,
I've
like,
never thought of it.
He
like
said, "Off
that.
the dome."
For real, like I've never. You're smooth. You're smoother than I thought.
just common sense.
Dang, my bad. I don't know common sense or what? Jeez. Dang, that is smart though.
I think
Hey,
that's
so if
I
you,
knew Hoy was smooth, bro.
Okay, my
I
bad.
know he's smooth.
my bad. I didn't know he was like that. So if you do go on a date, make sure to ask them to do something afterwards and see what they say. It's a good indication, according to Hoy and Alyson.
the worst thing you could do. Try and go like let's just go back home. Like let's just go home
for
like
sure.
on our
Never
own
do that
ways.
on a first date unless you're looking for a hookup. If y'all are both mutually looking for a
Oh,
hookup, that's
I
okay.
think Hoyoung means like let's just separate here. Is that what you meant?
Oh, it's like it's getting late.
Let's go home
Let's
together?
home. No, separate.
Oh. Yeah, don't do that either. Well, actually, it's okay. I think that's respectful if it's getting really late.
It is
Yeah.
respectful, but it's just
Or you could do that. Keep the person wanting more.
Like you do that in order for them to want more the next
Yeah,
time.
like push and pull.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
girl is like, I wanna
The girl's
do
like, "Do
that."
I like
okay,
it?"
I'll go home. Like you know, like
Oh, okay. About that, Alyson. So I'm sure you've gotten a lot of messages on dating apps. Which ones do you usually respond to? Is it a particular kind of message, or is it just because the guy's cute?
Oh,
It gotta be cute, right?
No, it's 100% the message.
Oh, the message. okay.
I,
Let's hear it.
I was like,
Hey, take notes. This is a big
Ah.
one. All right. So, what kind of
Um,
messages?
Like you can be very cute and have the worst prompt, and I will swipe like and say no.
Mm.
But if you're like not that attractive, and
You have
like,
good prompts.
yeah, or like respond, wittily.
Oh, okay. Wit.
Yeah, I
Wit
think
is
wit.
important.
That's like for me. I really like that. Good banter.
Yeah.
Good banter.
But then in reality, like you're the minority. I think but then I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of girls, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
It's like no matter how wittingly like they put it, it's like they gotta look at your face. And
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Nah,
Funny
true. That's
guys
true.
don't win.
you're the exception, which I
No.
respect.
No.
Which
but
more people need.
Yes.
I know.
in this world.
I think like a lot of people like banter though. You know.
They
I
do,
would agree, yes.
They do, but
It only gets you so far.
for honestly,
Maybe, yeah.
yeah, I think the looks also.
Yeah.
Kinda-
Big factor.
I
Big
think
fan.
I just heard something when I was like young, and it was, everyone's gonna be ugly at some point.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Who cares?
Exactly. That's why you need to marry the guy or girl who is good vibes, good wit. Because when you're old and sitting next to each other, you want to laugh. You don't want to look at them if they're
But in the
ugly.
beginning, when they're first time seeing you, have the best picture you can though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they look
Yeah.
in the beginning, in the first look.
At our age, yeah, for sure. All right. This is going to be the last question, the LQ. What is one of your favorite memories from your childhood? I can start if you guys need to think.
You can start.
Okay. So my favorite memory was when I was in preschool. I was about 4 or 5 or something like that. And I went to a daycare called Kids Are Kids with my brother. My brother was, I think, in 2nd or 3rd grade, something like that. And we would always like have our, like, we would always be split up into like upperclassmen, which is grade school, and then all the pre-K babies and stuff like that in the other room where I was. And we would have like nap times, snack times, different things than the grade school people would. And I just remember this was like very early. My teacher, I said professor, my teacher would always say like, who wants to go to the other, like the big kid side today? And like she would pick like 2 or 3 people, and I would always be like super shy. I'd be like, me, please. And I'm like, my brother's over there, please, I have to play with him and stuff like that. And I would love to go and play with him. And so I just like remember going to the 3rd to 5th graders club or whatever, and all my brother and his friends, like my brother would be like, dude, like get away from me and all that stuff, you know, because he doesn't want to play with the little kid, but like his friends would all be super nice to me. They would like play foosball with me, and all the cool stuff was on the other side. So that was probably one of my favorite memories. And that kind of leads to this thing that I was kind of thinking about. Do you guys remember playing outside with your friends and when that stopped?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really remember when it stopped. It just did one day. And then like, do you remember the last time you played with your friends outside? Because like, I feel like for me, when I think about it now, like that's when my childhood ended. That's when like I was like, dang, I lost like the butterflies. I lost like the magic. I lost like the Disney, like that kind of feel. Because like I just stopped playing with friends. Do you guys ever think about that? I think about that a lot.
I
feel
think
like.
about that, and then I miss it because I literally went outside 24/7.
Yeah, dude, same.
During like elementary up to like
Exactly.
whole elementary, and everything, and I think it's kind of stopped. I think it kind of stopped in middle school a little bit. But we did hang out like here and there, but then it completely stopped like our freshman year in high school and stuff like that. That's exactly kind of where it stopped for sure. But yeah, I remember just going out every day with my friends doing some head ass stuff. Like, we got in trouble by the apartment authorities because we were messing with someone's door.
Jesus.
So we put a stick in
Menaces.
there. Yeah, we put an ass stick in there, but so it like broke. So they couldn't
unlock it?
unlock it.
My
So they had to
gosh.
saw the whole doorknob down.
Yeah.
And then we would like break their what is it, gate, the apartment gates.
Yeah.
We would like ride on it and everything.
Yeah.
And we would play paintballing a lot with my friends.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Do you have a favorite memory then from your childhood?
Honestly, that's like the whole like 5-6 years.
Mhm.
Like actually whole like 3-4 years that I've been in elementary. Like I think that was like one of my best because we played basketball like every day, hung out every day, go to paintball during the weekends, sleep over at my friend's place.
Yeah.
And then it was
Good times.
It was good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually was an outside kid as much as I was an outside like teen during the summer.
Oh, okay.
So if we're talking like playing outside in the neighborhood as a kid, that probably stopped for me when I moved like 4th grade. Like I moved schools, and I think the girl that I did that the most with, we didn't go to the same school anymore.
Mm.
But even during the summers in high school, like I was always outside with church friends, like shooting around in the front, like in front of the garage, going outside to the lake, like hiking, doing just a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably ends it ended this summer for me.
Dang. So
Yeah.
that was pretty late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Wow.
You feel sad about it?
Super. Like
Yeah.
that's something that I've been like grieving a little bit.
Yeah. And those were like all your favorite memories? Or do you have one specific?
One specific is probably, like lemonade stands,
Ooh.
learning how to rip stick.
Mhm.
Oh.
That was
Yeah.
that was when the ripstick was out. That was a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It was cool to have a ripstick. It was cool to be able to ride it. Everyone wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Heelys too. Y'all
Oh
ever
my
had
gosh,
Heelys?
loved those.
My mom never let me have Heelys.
Really?
No.
Because there were
No
news
way.
that kids were dying falling off the cliff.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like,
Christ.
oh, but I wanted
Falling off a cliff.
Yeah, my mom
Death
just
by
always
Heelys.
looks
For
at those
real.
news. So I'm like, dude, like, so I can't have it.
I feel like your
Heelys.
mom would. We met Hoy's mom like last winter, and I can.
She was
She's
like, "It's too
very like,
dangerous."
yeah, she's very like
Oh,
danger,
yeah.
get away from danger kind of mom.
But then I'm like, don't care. I always want to do stuff. I'm super outdoorsy, so.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Well, that was the last question, and I hope you guys all had as much fun as I did.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, I just want to thank the guests
Appreciate
again for taking the time to be in today's episode. I also want to thank everyone for watching till the end if you did. And if you did make it through, please like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm to the YouTube and to the Spotify and to all my other socials, which will be down in the description. All these guys' socials will be down in the description as well, so make sure you give them a follow. Hit up Hoyoung if you need a date. And this has been your second episode of FYI Talks. And I'm your host, Frankie. I hope to see you guys soon. And peace out from all of us, Alyson and Hoyoung as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Sweet. Let's go.
That was so fun.